everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hello, if you're new here, it's lovely to have you and I hope you choose to stick around and subscribe. It's completely free and entirely up to you. It just means I pop up in your subscription boxes every time I upload a new video. On to today's video, and as you can probably tell by the title, I am doing a Q&A. I asked over on Instagram and Facebook and various other places for some questions and you did not disappoint, so let's get into it. Question number 1. How do you manage vlogging with a toddler around? Any tips for other mums? No. I don't think I manage at all. I think I just film little bits here and there and piece them all together. Obviously, a lot of the vlogs I filmed recently have been trips away or days out and things like that, which does help because I want to film and take photos for memories anyway, so then I've usually got enough that I can put in a vlog. Tip wise, I would say just get your camera out, just film little bits and pieces, set a time lapse. That's probably my best tip, is just set your camera up somewhere or your phone or whatever you're using and just get on with your day. And you'll be surprised that, you know, if it's you and your child playing, then you'll be surprised at how many cute little bits that you can edit down into a video. If it's you cleaning or tidying or making tea or whatever, speed it up and it makes a bit of a video as well. So yeah, that's probably my tips. Not very helpful, but it's second nature to me now. I've done it for so long. Obviously before I used to do it and then I took a break and then I returned and have been doing it ever since. So to be fair, yeah, it's just second nature to me. What are your toddler must-haves at 16 months? A playpen. This is something that will come up quite a lot, probably for a lot of questions. But yeah, a playpen, because I can put Nelly in there with some toys. She's absolutely safe and I can cook tea, I can go to the toilet, whatever. And I know that she's not going to be climbing on anything because obviously she's in that stage where she just wants to climb, and it's fun to see her explore, but it's not so fun when you see that she's probably going to hurt herself very, very soon. I'd also say just like basic leggings and t-shirts. They have so many pretty outfits in the shops, but honestly, they're at an age where they're either crawling or walking or climbing and they're exploring and just having fun, and they get really, really mucky. So as nice as all those pretty outfits are, they're not very practical. And another thing, I don't really know, like toy wise, she's into everything. She loves balls at the minute. Balls and bubbles are the two things that she enjoys playing with. So yeah, probably just that, to be fair. What's your daily routine like with your little one? Now, this is actually quite a good question because we have recently signed back up to Huckleberry. I use the free version anyway. I have done for a little while now, and when Nelly was probably up until about 7-8 months, we used the paid version, or one of the paid versions, because there's different tiers, and we decided that we no longer needed to pay for it. We'd still track her sleep and her feeding and her nappies and things like that, but we just didn't feel we needed the sweet spot element. However, recently it has been so difficult that we have signed back up to Huckleberry for their sweet spot help because yeah, Nelly's sleep has just been, it's been horrendous. So we are in the midst of getting back on track with that, but typically it would be sort of get up between 7 and 8 and have breakfast, and then she would watch Miss Rachel in the bouncer for a little while. That is her morning thing. I know some people don't like screen time, but for me that just means that I can make the breakfast, tidy up after breakfast, set up an activity, get things done, like, yeah. So I normally do that, and then we have like a main activity. We sometimes go for a walk, or sometimes go to the park or go to town or something like that. But I always try to make sure she's played with her toys first, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes, because 5 or 10 minutes to Nelly feels like an hour. And then she'll go down for a nap about lunchtime. She doesn't have lunch, she just has a snack. She's going through a phase of not wanting to eat, so that's fun. But she does have a snack, and then she will play again in the afternoon. Sometimes I have to put her in the playpen so that I can get stuff done, but mainly actually just to stop her climbing for like half an hour so I can just let her enjoy her toys but without the safety issue. I found that sometimes if I just put her in the pen with some toys, she'll happily play. She'll be absolutely fine and she'll really enjoy playing. If I put the same toys on the floor where she's not in the pen, she'll be climbing up the window, she'll be trying to sit on the radiator, she's trying to pull the TV off the unit. Like, it's just chaos. So yeah, it's usually that. And then Ash comes home, we have tea. We sometimes go for a walk, sometimes don't, depending on the weather. It has been really, really hot recently, so we haven't been out very, very much. We've done like the beach a few times and things like that, but it's just been way too hot to be out. Typically today we are meant to be going out this afternoon and it's raining, so that's fun. But yeah, and then it's just a typical bedtime, bath time. I want to say that we stick to certain times. We don't. It's summertime. We have lots of plans on. We have lots of shows and things like that Nelly comes along to as well, and she enjoys them. And yeah, so having a strict bedtime right now is just, it's not possible, but at least with the Huckleberry app, we can get somewhat back on track. So yeah, that's currently our routine. Do you plan on sharing more of your parenting journey as Nelly grows up? No, and yes. So I'm kind of planning on featuring Nelly less in the videos. Obviously, when I started this channel, I didn't have Nelly. And whilst the last year or so, Nelly has been the main focus, or 2 years really, like obviously throughout my pregnancy, I was documenting things. And yeah, I feel like whilst in my life Nelly is a priority, I feel like there's so many other things that I could cover, and she's still going to feature, but I think it will probably be a little bit of a step back over time. Hopefully not like sudden. I think it will just be gradually over time. She'll appear less and less. Gradually over time I won't show her face, because obviously she's getting older now, and I would hate for somebody to watch these videos and then recognise her when we're out and about, especially if I'm not with her, because yeah, that to me is a huge safety concern. So yeah, I would probably say in that sense no, but at the same time I still want to document different things, special milestones I'd love to document. Obviously days out, like I said, she's going to be in them because I'm not leaving her at home. But also I think the parenting journey, but from my point of view, I think is something that I'll probably go on to document rather than focusing it on Nelly, because it's not Nelly's channel, it's my channel. So there'll still be a lot of mum life content, but just possibly less of Nelly. My little one's turning 1 soon. Any first birthday present ideas you'd recommend? Ooh, the ball pit was such a good idea for Nelly. Ash's parents bought that, and yeah, she loves it. She's always wanted to get it out at bedtime, which is just not going to happen, but she absolutely adores it. And we've even taken it like out onto the grass and things like that. And yeah, so I definitely say a ball pit. It also works as extra storage as well. Just hide the toys in the ball pit, and then they can do a little like, let's find this toy. It's hard to say. I'm trying to think back to what Nelly played with when she was 1. Her trike, she still loves her trike. We don't get to go out on it as much as I'd like to, but I definitely need to step it up and go back out with the trike. That was really handy, to be fair, because you don't always want to take the pushchair. So yeah, the trike was a really good one. And I think for me personally, whilst there's this big thing about a birthday, like Nelly was progressing so quickly, like as a baby, you know, toys she played with as a newborn weren't really suitable at 4 months, and then things she played with at 4 months she was bored of by like 8 months. So I feel like she had quite a lot of toys and things to entertain her quite early on and quite spread out anyway, so we didn't really focus too much on toys. She did get some books, and obviously if you watched the Vlogmas vlogs from last year, you would have seen that we did the Christmas books advent calendar, or like a loose form of it. So she had plenty, she had plenty of books. So yeah, like I just got her a few new books to add to the collection. There's a really nice Peter Rabbit one that I bought in the works, and it was like Peter's birthday or something like that it's called. So that was quite sweet. It kind of loosely showed her what a birthday might be like, because obviously she didn't have a clue. Other than that, I bought Nellie a cute outfit with some little cute shoes, and also a baby bracelet as well. And I think they're things that make a first birthday, those little keepsakes, because let's face it, the toys, they're either going to get broken, lost, sold on, thrown away, like, and you won't remember them. Whereas having this little like outfit, and I can look back in years to come and be like, that's how small you were when you were a year old. I think that's kind of special, so I'd probably say that, to be fair. What are your top 3 mum must-haves that you couldn't live without? They're probably going to be baby related, to be fair, because, you know, mum life. First up, I would probably say a good like camera monitor. We've got the VTech one. I can't remember what model it is, to be honest with you, but it's good. I've mentioned it many a time, and I've got it linked, I think, on Instagram. But I'd probably say that because it gives you peace of mind, and every time you hear a noise, I can just look at the monitor and be like, was it Nellie or not? And 9 times out of 10 it wasn't her. But if I didn't have the monitor, I would probably constantly be going up there and then waking her up, which, you know, defeats the object. So I'd probably say that. I would also say, again, the playpen. I can't rave about the playpen enough. The one that we've got is a fold-up one as well, so it goes on holiday with us, it goes on trips away, all different things. So yeah, I'd say that as well. And mum must-haves, something really, really basic, but hand sanitizer, because yeah, when you go into some of the like baby changing places, they are grim. They're not all kept clean as you would probably imagine they might be, because they're for babies. You would think they'd be sanitized, and they're really not. But don't get me wrong, some of them are nice, some of them are amazing. Like, we went to the Tank Museum, well, we've been a couple of times this year now already, and they've got like the most amazing area for babies and toddlers. They've got like a changing room area that's got nappy sacks and things like that, and they've also got like they call it a wellness room, but you can go in there to feed. They've got plush sofas, and it's just really well thought out of, and such a lovely space. Similarly, there's some supermarkets, I know Morrison's does have like nappies in case you run out of nappies, or as sad as it may seem, you can't afford the nappies, and you know, you can go in there and change your baby, and no one's going to know whether you could afford the nappy or not, because yeah, they're just sat there, all different sizes, ready for you to use. Whereas on the flip side of the coin, there are some really grim ones, like I say. So hand sanitizer, or like a spray disinfectant type thing that you can use on your hands and surfaces. That's probably my third one. What's your toddler's current favourite toy or activity? What is she loving apart from balls and bubbles at the minute? Oh, her wooden toolkit. We got her a wooden toolkit at a car boot sale, and she loves it. Absolutely adores it. Goes for it straight away. I'm forever standing on like the plastic screwdriver and things like that, but she loves it. So yeah, I'd probably say that, to be honest with you. How do you keep your toddler entertained on long car journeys or day trips? We don't. We're really struggling at this. Although I feel like as Nellie is getting older, it is getting slightly better. But trips in the car, especially long journeys, because it takes us a couple of hours to get up to see Ash's mum and dad. So, you know, I would say that's quite a long journey for a toddler. It's usually spent with 90% crying and screaming and having a hissy fit. By Nellie, not me. I do normally have a hissy fit at the end, because I'm just like, I've got such a headache. It's so stressful. But Miss Rachel. And we found as well that if we have Miss Rachel playing either on our phone or through the CD like stereo thing in the car, but don't actually show her the screen, that and the journey, or like the movement, tends to make her fall asleep. Whereas if she gets a glimpse of the screen, she's wired. So I'd say that helps. And I think timing it so that it's near their nap time, so that again the motion and things sends them to sleep, can be really beneficial as well. That's what we did when we went up to Lincolnshire. Part of it would have been for Nellie's nap, so it kind of worked really well. Day trip wise, I recently bought some clear makeup bags, and I just pop in little toys. Like, she's got some little play farm animals and things like that, so I pop some of those in. She's got a little plane, just like basic little toys, so that if we're on a day trip and she's fed up of being in the pushchair, or we're sitting to eat some lunch, or just sitting, then I can just whip out these little toys and she'll play with them. And then at the end we play the tidy up game, put them all back in, and then she knows that it's time to get back in the pushchair and get on our way, kind of thing. So yeah, I'd probably say that really helps, and that was a game changer, because for a while I didn't take anything, and then I suddenly thought, no wonder she's screaming and acting up, because she's bored. So yeah, that definitely helps. What's been your favourite place you've visited so far with your family, and why? Ooh, there's so many good ones I could mention. Obviously things like Nellie's first RIA was amazing. To take her to an event that I've always gone to, and that has always been such a huge part of my life and has been a big part of Ash's life, like, yeah, that was something special. I also think the Tank Museum vlog that we did on here, that was one of my favourite memories, because Nellie came into her own. It was the first time that when you set her down in like a play area, that she actually wanted to play, and she was enjoying herself so much she didn't want to leave. Yeah, it took a bit of distraction to get her to actually leave the toys there. So I'd probably say that, because she was just so excited. Is probably another good one. But I think the top spot for me would actually be when we took Nellie to Warren Farm, because again, it's such a special place for me. It's where my first real holidays were too, and it was on the same campsite. We were basically in the same pitch. Whilst we didn't stay, like mum and dad stayed, so we obviously went into their pitch, kind of thing. And yeah, it was so special, even to like have Nellie play in the play park. Like, I had good memories of doing that. And then we went into, they've got like an indoor soft play area, and we took a photo of like Nellie and my dad, so it replicated a photo that I've got with myself and my granddad, because Nan and granddad would go as well. It just, Warren Farm at Breen is my happy place, and I'm so glad I got to take Nellie back there. I can't wait to take her back and actually stay, rather than just do a day trip. But yeah, it's basic there as well. It's not like some huge campsite thing. It's like a basic with a few animals, soft play, an arcade, 10-pin bowling, a couple of takeaways, a supermarket. Like, there's nothing super duper exciting. They don't have a pool or anything, but it's nice and it's relaxing and it's nostalgic for me. So yeah, I'd probably say that. And the best bit is I got to vlog it on this channel, so I've always got those memories there as well. Would you ever go back to Tatchell Lakes after your experience? Oh, at the end of the vlogs we said we may come back despite everything, because obviously in a nice way it's a 50-50 chance. The first time we went there was an amazing stay, this last time wasn't, so we were a bit like, well, maybe we'll come back, and I think we will, possibly more so for the aviation side of it, but other than that, no. Yeah, I think it's, if we wanted to do Coningsby, then I think that's just a pretty good base to be at, and now we found other locations so that we don't go near the Spotters car park. If you've watched those vlogs, you will know. But yeah, I think we're going to look at somewhere else. To be honest, we were going to look at different areas anyway, because I feel like we've exhausted that area of like Lincolnshire and things. We've done everything we wanted to do, but I definitely think it has put me off away resorts, which is a shame because I've stayed with away resorts multiple times. We used to stay there at Tattershall Lakes as well when it had the touring fields. So yeah, I feel a little bit sad, but there's other great parks around and I'm sure we'll find something. They did offer us, I think it was £50 refund on our 500, and it was like £580, something like that we paid for our week. And you might think, okay, 50 quid, you know, it's not too bad. But when you consider that I paid basically 20 quid for the high chair and towels, it's not much of a refund. And they did give us a percentage, a small percentage, I'd like to say, off of a future stay with away resorts in any of their locations. But we've done some research and we found some other ones that are like half the price for the same week for areas that actually seem better. There's more facilities on the park, better reviews. So in all honesty, I won't say never, but definitely it's not on the horizon. Are there any hidden gems in Lincolnshire you'd recommend for a family day out? I definitely think the Tattershall Farm Park was better than I expected. Obviously you've got the animals, but they had lots of like play features as well. Like they had the toddler playroom, they had a soft play, although we didn't use a soft play. They had like outside play areas, they had the little tractor driving thing. So for me, value for money, that was so good for a family day out. And to be fair, you could make it a full family day out, you know, like seeing the animals, doing all the play things, having a picnic, like going back round and doing the animals again, because you know what they do in the morning and afternoon can sometimes be different. There's different talks there and feeding times, and there'd be so much to do that you could spend a whole day there. Yeah, I'd probably say that's the main one. We didn't obviously get to explore loads of things for Nelly to do because we were doing stuff for us as well. Everywhere that we went was kind of kid friendly. There wasn't anything where I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I didn't take Nelly. Like everything, you know, was all right. But I'd probably say Tattershall Farm Park was probably the top one for me for families. If you could plan your dream UK staycation, where would it be? Ooh. I actually think it would be one that we are looking at doing at some point in the future, and it would be to do the North Coast 500, explore Scotland. I've been to Scotland and I did quite an in-depth exploring of Scotland, but not in your typical locations. Like, don't get me wrong, I saw some absolutely beautiful places, but I didn't get to see a lot of the things that would be on a Scottish bucket list, let's say that. So it'd be really nice to do that. I'm thinking that it's probably going to be a kid-free road trip, hence why I say it'll be in the future, because yeah, I want to get like a little van, not a little van, but like a converted van type thing, and do it that way rather than having to either keep moving my caravan or pay for hotels and things, because obviously that works out costly. Yeah, so I'd quite like the idea of getting a converted van, even if it's just renting it for the duration of our trip, and just finding places to stay and rocking up as and when, which I think would be pretty special. So yeah, I'm probably going to do that. If it was something that is with kids or with Nelly or with any future children that we have, then I would definitely say a road trip and exploring Yorkshire. My family, or part of my family, is from Yorkshire, so it would be really nice to like take Nelly to like the family home and other like places that are significant to our family and things like that. I think would be pretty special. What are your go-to budget meal ideas for the week? I'm pretty basic. It's very much a lot of the time like a meat, veg and carb. So be it spaghetti bolognese, be it pie, mash and veg, be it a roast dinner. A roast dinner can work out so cheaply because you can really split the ingredients down amongst several plates. Chicken curry I think is always a good one because, you know, with the rice, or do it with chips or whatever people want to eat, especially if you've got a fussy toddler like mine. Just those like staple meals, you know. We eat quite a lot of the same things and just rotate it like I'd say I've probably got enough meals for like 2 or 3 weeks, and we just rotate and pick from those meals. We don't really eat things that are more expensive. Like we had lamb chops the other day. Me and Ash had like a lamb chop each. That is like a once every 6 months. We can't afford to do things like that. Same with burger and chips. Burgers are so expensive for like a decent sized one, because let's face it, they all shrink when you cook them. That actually, to be honest, it's cheaper to go to McDonald's than it is to get the burgers sometimes. So again, we don't really go for things like that. So yeah, I'd probably say just your basic meals are always budget friendly. Do you meal plan before you do your food shop? Yes. It's normally very much a scurry on a Monday morning, 10 minutes before I'm heading out to the shops, but we do always meal plan and try and work around what we've got on that week, because I think that can be sometimes the downfall. If you don't take into consideration what you've actually got on that week, you might end up putting down a meal that's going to take an hour and a half to cook in a time scale that is like you've got 10 minutes. So yeah, I think you've got to plan out your week, and you've got to sort it out. I can't be one of those people that just looks in the cupboards and the fridge and the freezer when they're hungry and need to start cooking tea and rustle something up. It just doesn't work like that. I like to know what I'm having. Not a question, but could you do more what I bought hauls, maybe even charity shop finds? Of course I could. I would have done one yesterday, to be honest. We went to all of the charity shops in the area, but I only bought one thing, so it wouldn't have made much of a haul. But yeah, I could definitely do more hauls, especially charity shop finds, maybe car boot sale finds, who knows. But I haven't really bought that much since doing my collective haul. Maybe I'll mush them all together at some point and do a big haul again, focusing in more on like car boot sales and charity shops. How's Trixie doing? Loved watching her birthday vlog. She is adorable. Thank you. I agree, she is adorable. I don't get to see her as much as I would like to. It can be a bit of a challenge logistically. I've said it before on this channel, but Trixie and Nellie don't really get on all too well. It's all right in small doses if you're in a house, like if we're visiting mum and dad, or if they're coming over here, then small doses is fine. It's not so bad if we do days out, like we did the Devon truck show. They were both fine then. Like they were almost practically like kissing and cuddling. They were fine. But Trix is very protective of her own environment, her own beds, her toys, her food. Like, so it's difficult. So yeah, I don't get to see her as much as I'd like to, because by the time Ash gets home, so that I could potentially go over there, you've got like the tea time, bath time, bedtime situation, which is getting ever later. And then by the time that's done, I want to go to bed myself, because it's such a battle right now. But she's doing really well. We had a rough patch with her after Midlands, which I think I spoke about in a vlog, but I don't know if the vlog's up yet or not. I can't remember. And it was a little bit touch and go, and it was the first time that I thought we might lose her, which is really sad to think that. But I know that we've got so many amazing memories with her. So I think in my mind I come to terms a little bit more, not fully, not at all fully, and I'm not writing her off in the slightest. But I think I come to terms with the fact that she is an old lady. We still take her to places, but we have to usually take a little pushchair because she can't walk far, especially after her attack. She's gone downhill a lot with mobility in that sense. The hot weather she struggled with for years with the hot weather, but again, she's older now, so you have to be a little bit more lenient. But yeah, she's doing well. She'll have her moments where she'll be a puppy. She absolutely adores being at Warren Farm. She adores going on the beach, being absolutely covered in sand, to the point that like her face is just sand. Yeah, she's still my number one firstborn. Do you have any tips for keeping an older dog happy and healthy? I wouldn't say Trix is the most healthy. Like, she's always been overweight. She is a crossbreed, so that has been taken into consideration, that the weight ratio might be slightly different, but I don't really have any tips because Trix has got her own health problems. She's got epilepsy. The medication for the epilepsy has damaged her liver, and obviously the epilepsy has damaged her heart as well. So, you know, she's not the most healthiest. She doesn't have supplements, but if she didn't have the issues that she had, I probably would have looked at supplements, be it joint supplements or things like that. But unfortunately, the medication she's on, she can't have those things. So, yeah, and I'd probably say it's not even just as an older dog. I think you have to look after them right from the beginning, and do your research and think about choices and things like that, which is something probably I should have done more of when she was younger. It wouldn't have stopped the epilepsy. She still would have had it. You know, she still would have had the issues that she's had. But the things I know now, and if I was to get a dog again at any point, the things I wouldn't give that dog. Like when Trix was a puppy, there was no, I don't want to say no known issues, because obviously the issues were known, but there was no widespread information about the effects of rawhide. Not only the internal damage that it can do, but like the choking hazards that it can be. There wasn't really any of your like tails food and butternut box and all these different like healthier versions of food. There was none of that on the market, so it was kind of like pedigree is the boring thing, Baker's is like giving a child Smarties, and that was about it. Like everything else you just didn't have a clue. So I probably fed her the wrong kind of dog foods and treats early on, which, you know, I've definitely learned about. So I'd say do your research, find foods that are gonna benefit them, not harm them, I guess, because whilst they're not obviously poisonous foods in dog food, there are ones that aren't the best. And I mean, if you speak to a vet, they will tell you their recommendations and their reasoning for why those recommendations and things to stay away from. So yeah, it's definitely worth getting your advice. But yeah, and then I think that it's just a case of carrying that on into old age. But to be honest, now that Trix is the age she is, we're kind of a opinion of just let her be happy. You know, if she wants a little bit of sausage cut up, let her have the sausage. Like, life's too short. I'd rather she eats something than nothing at all. So yeah, it's a difficult one. What inspired you to start vlogging your family life? Obviously I had the channel before and then I come back, as I've already mentioned. So I'd always done vlogs, and I guess you would say when I first did it, it was still family vlogs because it was me and my ex with our dog. So, you know, to some people that would be a family. In terms of like the family I've got now, I think it was just a progression, you know, like I vlogged my life and then I got pregnant. So obviously I included bits about pregnancy, and then Nelly arrived. So I was a new mum with a newborn, and I vlogged bits of that, and it's carried on from there. I wouldn't say that I ever necessarily set out with a plan to vlog family life, but I enjoy doing it, and it's something that I'm going to continue. Like I said, I'm going to switch it up over time, but who doesn't want to look back on all these memories? Don't get me wrong though, I do adore watching other like family vloggers, especially like mum life vlogs. Yeah, I love it, although it can be a bit tricky to watch them now, because if somebody's kid is screaming on their vlog, it usually wakes Nelly up. But Nelly watches a couple as well. She watches, I've mentioned her before, Olivia, who has got Jessie and Teddy, and Teddy isn't much older than Nelly, and she's been obsessed with him forever. She'll like blow him kisses and yeah, so I've always enjoyed watching it, and I suppose it's that thing of do what you enjoy, and it ended up on this. I am just going to jump in here and say that I'm going to split this Q&A into two parts because, well, I rabbled. Not only that, I didn't expect to have as many questions as I did get in the end. So yeah, I think I'm going to split this up into two parts. So this will obviously be part one, and then part two will be coming in a couple of weeks' time, I would have thought, because I've got a trip away, which I'm going to put those vlogs in first and then bring part two of the Q&A back afterwards. There are loads of questions still to come. Don't worry if I have not answered your question yet, because I'm sure it'll be in part two. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. It really does help and I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you next time.